Hello there friends, it's CS2 News Hub in today's episode. First official stand-ins at the Major, Falcons' mental state, Niko surprises with his pick for the best rifler on the planet, Cologne and Esports World Cup team lists, and a bunch of other exciting news from the world of CS2, so without further ado, let's get straight to it. As always, we'll kick things off with roster news. You might remember earlier rumors that Complexity would have a stand-in for their opening matches, since Hallzerk was facing visa issues and might miss the start of the tournament. Well, turns out he's not coming to Austin at all. The offer is officially out for the entire event, and Junior will be playing in his place. So basically the big question now is, how much will this impact Complexity's performance? And your pick'ems as well. Besides Complexity, so have also gone through some major changes. Yeah, the same squad that also made playoffs at Cologne and carried the hopes of Portuguese CS. They are now in full rebuild mode after a string of questionable roster moves. The team parted ways with cejott, AZUWU and Golden, leaving only Mutiris and Story from the original core. This whole thing basically started after the high-profile removal of Hallzerk, which many say marked the beginning of their downfall. Results began to dip and another round of changes followed, turning a once solid 1.5 tier team into a shaky tier 2 or tier 3 lineup. Speaking of upper changes, Team Falcons' sport mental coach, Lars Robel, which we mentioned in the previous episode, recently shed some light on Degster's mental state. According to Robel, ever since joining Falcons, Degster was under heavy pressure, because right from the start he knew he could be replaced by Monacy at any moment. That thought weighed on him constantly, like he had to prove his worth every single day just to stay on the roster. Ironically, it was at his final event with the team PGL Bucharest where Degster finally played with his full confidence. Basically because by then he knew the switch was inevitable. That realization took the pressure off. He could just play his own game, take risks, and stop trying to prove something all the time. Now all that's left is just to hope that he finds a new team where he can finally unlock his full potential, without that kind of weight on his shoulders. I don't know, with Senpaias going to G2 after a major, maybe Heroic would suit? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Before we move on to the next news, let me tell you about CSGO Fast, as they're turning 10 years. CSGO Fast is the oldest and most trusted website in the history of CS skin games. Feel like gaming is unfair to you? On CSGO Fast you can open tons of profitable cases and pull that dream skin you've always wanted. They've got a huge variety of games, including intense case battles. You can even invite a friend and win together. Surely you all love raffles. CSGO Fast runs free raffles every 6 hours, giving away skins to random participants. Plus, they regularly host special events. Right now is their 10-year anniversary, just look at the prizes up for grabs. And if you're a true CS veteran, you already know the community has trusted CSGO Fast for years. That's why they have a loyalty system for regular users and a ranking system with extra bonuses. Do I even need to mention skin prices? You already know they're awesome. And if you don't want to deposit, no problem, you can always use the referral system to earn points. Use promo code CSGO News Live to get plus 10% to your deposit and a free case. The link will be in the pinned comment. But it's not just the younger players who feel the pressure, even veterans of the scene are still in the game mentally. Recently, FNX shared that he's not planning to retire just yet. He wants to keep playing CS for at least another year. There's even a chance that he could link up with some of his old teammates for a last dance reunion, a final showcase of Brazilian legend tier CS. Yeah, another last dance. The reason for all this is basically because fans noticed that FNX hasn't made any official statement about retirement, and that sparked rumors. But thanks to journalists from Dust to Brazil, we now know FNX is still looking to compete. And while some players are just trying to stretch out their careers for one last run, others keep grinding with a much simpler drive, and surprisingly, one of them is Chopper. According to Team Spirit's captain, his main motivation right now isn't winning trophies or chasing the second major title, it's money. Plain and simple. Yeah, I know, that might sound strange, playing for one of the best teams in the world just for the paycheck. But on the other hand, it's refreshingly honest. I mean, Chopper's been in the pro scene for years, and the youthful fire naturally fades. So he's not pretending otherwise, or hiding behind big speeches about passion or legacy. Guys, what do you think? Is that a valid reason for someone playing at the top, like with team spirit? Or is it not enough for a team with championship ambitions? Tell us in the comments below. While the veterans are out there thinking about one last dance or money, the new generation is just flipping the script. NaVi Junior just won the CCT Series 2 and climbed all the way to 28th position in Valve's global rankings, which is honestly not that far from the all-time peak of NaVi Junior. They were once number 22nd. At this rate, it wouldn't be surprising if some of these academy players will get promoted to the main roster or even get sold to other teams after the major. But if NaVi is looking to strengthen their own core, we'd definitely keep an eye on this squad. Speaking of Eastern European talents, there's been some serious drama lately, and it all started with one simple question: who is really responsible for all the rising young stars? Around 18% of current players once came through academy rosters. Not a bad number considering how recently most of these systems were just put in place. So what's basically the issue? Turns out things escalated when a young player refused an offer from Team Spirit's scout, Overdrive, who is also known as an insider, who for some reason decided to fire back harshly, saying that the kid would end up stuck in Tier 3 forever. That Overdrive's comment sparked backlash from journalists who called the approach toxic, even accusing him of using pressure and manipulation. What even made it messier is that Overdrive apparently counts any player he scouted as his own success, even those who didn't make it into Spirit's Academy, but still made it big on their own. For example, like AZUWU from Nimega, the young star. Even the fluffy gangster's CEO chimed in, recalling how he once literally stood up for Shiro and Nufani back when people were accusing them of cheating, with Overdrive himself allegedly among those making threats. At one point, the drama and the barking from two sides was so loud that it wasn't even clear who was on the right side. In the most reasonable move of the whole situation, Nufani stepped in and reminded a former CEO about his unpaid $500 debt, then told everyone just to stop the nonsense because the argument had become pointless. Like, Overdrive is undeniably a talent-spotting genius, but his harsh way of speaking, it doesn't always land well. So, my friends, what do you think? Does he have the rights to be so blunt? I guess no. Now, let's move on. While some teams are dealing with roster struggles, others are turning to their fans for guidance. Bait recently asked their community whether they should attend the upcoming FISSURE playground, basically because the event is sponsored by a Russian betting company, which goes against the organization's internal policies. And here's the catch, basically: if they skip the event, they risk missing out a whole bunch of future tournaments as well, because of the money they can win and the VRS system. After explaining the situation, the community rallied behind the team. In a public vote, the majority supports the idea of attending the tournament. Say what you will, but that's a rare example of a team putting its values and fans first. Speaking of tournaments, the team lists for IM Cologne and the Esports World Cup have officially been revealed, and we couldn't skip this one. Let's start with IM Cologne. The team's already locked in for the main stage: Vitality, Mouse, Team Spirit, Falcons, the Mongols, Aurora, G2 and NaVi. The playing stage, though, is stacked with even more names: Gamer Legion, FaZe Clan, Astralis, 3D Max, Heroic, Liquid, Virtus.pro, Fury, Complexity, Tyloo, MIBR, Bait and Ninjas in Pyjamas, and a few other squads that will probably get eliminated right off the bat. As for the Esports World Cup, the lineups looks pretty similar, just without a few of those fringe teams that people stopped believing in long before the major. And of course, for many of these rosters, it's not just about the prize pool, it's also about the individual leaderboards and ranking points. but that's all for now. Now, my friends, something about the Austin Major. With the tournament about to kick off, let's take a moment to predict. Right now, the clear favorites are Vitality. According to Sponge, they've got a 99% chance to win. And if they do, it will officially mark the start of their era. But, well, let's break it down stage by stage. According to polls, 46% of fans believe that Heroic will go through without any loss, even though this is their last dance. You know, because of Senpai Sensaw's departure. Heroic looked surprisingly sharp lately, and it's clear that they're playing for pride, not for sponsors. At the bottom of prediction charts, Chinggis Warriors. Most expect them to crash out early, maybe even disband, with some even saying that Mon might leave the roster. In second place for most likely to advance is Complexity. Even without a stand-in, the core lineup is solid, and fans believe that they might not even feel the difference. North America power, yeehaw, you know, all that. Ugh. Other teams expected to make it to the next stage include mostly Wildcard, Bait, and Bad Boom, all showing promise leading up to the event. Speaking of stage 2, well, things will only hit up from here. The competition will get tougher, the stakes will get higher, and the margin for error basically vanishes. Yeah, guys, I can't believe it. The first major of the season officially begun. I don't know about you, but for me, one of the most important and exciting questions is, can Niko do it this time? It's basically his 15th try, or Vitality will just dominate again. I guess the time will tell. Now, to wrap things up and talking about Niko, he himself decided to name the best rifler in the world right now. And, well, no surprise here, it's Donk. The Spirit Star took the scene by storm. But interestingly, the team's overall results this year haven't been as dominant as many expected, especially compared to their insane run last season. Maybe this major is where they finally click again. Maybe this is the moment Spirit stops the Vitality juggernaut and proves again that you can win without a bootcamp. And now, guys, that's all for today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button, to follow our channel, and drop by in the comments below because it helps us to develop a lot. I'm not saying goodbye for a long time because we've got the Austin Major. See you soon.